Hey man, can you get online and look up the colors of these new PDW beanies? Because I know I'm going to mess them up and I don't want to do that.
I mean, I'll look them up, but I want to hear what you were going to call them first.
Oh. I dye my beard gray. I occasionally go outside, green. I have a dive sticker on my truck, red. And have you seen my hacky sack? Multicolor. All right, before we start questions over coffee, I'm putting it out to everybody watching this video. I need gun cleaning products that do not leak. So maybe I could find some little Nalgene containers to put them in, but I have to store this stuff in the heat. And for some reason, I mean, granted Texas summers are horrible, but I don't know if you can see it, but that stuff's everywhere. Like no matter what I tried to do, I tried to switch to this KG gun oil for precision rifle stuff, and you know there's no stopper in here. You're just kind of counting on the cap that's right here. But I mean, you can't tell me, Brian, you shouldn't keep paperwork with the gun oil. But you know, there's only so many places I can put stuff in here. So what I'd really like is some gun oil and lubrication that doesn't do that. So if you know of any, post it up in the comments. Okay, first question on Questions Over Coffee comes from Brian, who spells his name the right way. How do you spell Ryan? Anyway, what's the best way to carry both a chest rig and a large pack? Do you put your chest rig in your pack and hope you have time to don it, or is there a comfortable way to integrate the chest rig to the pack straps? So I'm going to show you a couple different options that exist on the marketplace kind of today. What's been kind of shifting in terms of the tactical market in chest rigs is smaller, smaller, smaller. Everybody's been going smaller. There was kind of this small generation a while back, and then it kind of went big with chest rigs, and then it kind of tapered down back into small chest rigs. Now they're micro chest rigs. So I don't know which kind of chest rig you're really talking about, so I'll show some different options. So first I want to start off with the dilemma that you're speaking about, which is, so you try to take a chest rig and possibly body armor, I'm going to get into that too, and then a backpack, and you try to throw all that stuff on. When you do, I'll show you the problem here, is that you start getting multiple levels of strap digging into you, and then when you go to shoot, you have an issue with that because then your cheek weld is off because you have 3 layers of strap. So, you know, let's say we're going to go ahead and put this on here. I'm sure I'm screwing up the mic, but anyway. So second level, and then you go to put on a backpack, and now you look like you just kind of crawled out of a reenactment of some kind. I was looking in the mirror. Anyway, so you can see the dilemma here. Now you like, well, do I put on this strap? What do I do here? So now I've got all this while I'm trying to get a good position with the rifle buttstock in my shoulder, and now it's screwing up my cheek weld. So what you can do with this kind of thing is there exist options on the market, and I'm going to talk about Mayflower first because I think I would say they're the first ones to come up with this idea back in the day, which was 2010, I believe, or 2011. So first I'll kind of show this. This is like your plate carrier, like the first level that I put on, right? And then you've got a chest rig, but the straps come off of this, like so. And now you've got your chest rig with your waist strap still on it, and it can dock right into the chest rig in the front. So, and this is the first Gen 2 of this Mayflower system. They went with like chasm surface buckles, so it's not just a female here. But the idea is you put this on, and then these can tuck in on the previous generation of the Mayflower pack. And then you can run it like this. So what happens is you've got a chest rig and a plate carrier now with only one level of strap. Now you still got to contend with a backpack like you're talking about. And this is a 3-day size backpack, and LBT makes really thick padded straps, which are nice when you're just carrying a pack. I really love their 3-day packs, but you can see the dilemma of 3 levels here. It kind of gets unwieldy a little bit. And you almost have to wear this sternum strap because of the fact that where this is located on your shoulders, it almost wants to start sliding off. So this is the Haley Strategic rig, and what they've done is kind of combined a lot of that stuff into one. So you can see that they've got a very small assault pack, but Haley does make a larger version of this. This is their flat pack, and now they make a flat pack plus, which is even larger. The premise here is that you can make the pack larger by unzipping it like so and providing more room inside of it. So you've got this on your back. That links into that same type of feature I showed with the Mayflower here in the front, where you can dock in different chest rigs. And there's also this little dangler thing that they have, so you can have extra room here, which a lot of this kind of slimming down of the chest rig and the shrinking of it into these micro chest rigs has kind of necessitated this type of thing from the front, because you don't really have the space like so. And now this isn't exactly on perfectly, but I actually favor this LBT 1961, I think, chest rig, because even though these were built for like a saw gunner, so to have ammo here, and then they have radio pockets behind them, I like utilizing them for different things. So I'll still stick the radio here, and I still like that positioning for it, but I really like the utility of these big saw pockets for different kind of stuff. Like I've got like my survival kit and things like this, but a lot of my usage now is just hiking around, but I like to be prepared even when I'm hiking and doing land navigation and stuff like that. I don't necessarily run mags all the time in here, but when I do, there's at least 4 slots for mags, and so typically you have a loadout of 5 if you have one in the AR. But this is kind of, obviously it doesn't look quite like a gypsy camp like this when I'm going out in it, but that's kind of the deal with backpacks, is you really just have to find a compromise. Can you get by with just lessening your load in the pack, and running something like this, or maybe they're Haley's Flat Pack Plus, or do you really need a huge 3-day pack? My assumption is that you really don't. I've been kind of leaning more towards slimming down my pack too and what I carry in it. I think this is a good option. I don't really necessarily like the way the flat pack is on its own as a backpack. I think these straps are good for weight-bearing applications like carrying a chest rig and things like that, but it is possible to overstuff a flat pack too that Haley makes and make it uncomfortable for yourself, and it's what I've experienced before too. So you really have to kind of play around with the load in terms of what you're carrying and find out what's right for you. Okay, next question comes from Joseph over email. It's been decades since I studied land nav, so I really appreciate your content on it. You're welcome. Hope you're learning something. Do you have suggestions on writing instruments to use with maps? I hear different types or sizes of pen or pencil tips can create problems. So it really depends on the map you're using too. Some of the waterproof map paper doesn't really work well with pencils. Just to give you an idea, this is kind of what I carry in my pack too. So this is kind of an example of a topo map. And if you buy the good topo maps, well, I should say this. Good topo maps are good in 2 different ways. If you buy a waterproof one, it's great because you get the features of being able to not carry something like this, like a lock sack to keep it waterproofed. However, you kind of lose the ability to write easily on it. So there's a trade-off. I've never really found pencil lead that's perfect on a waterproof map. I'll always kind of like, either wipe it off inadvertently or have problems with it. And I don't like writing in pen on maps. I like to be able to erase it because you're going to make mistakes when you're plotting stuff on maps. Just to kind of show you some stuff here. Like these are coordinates that I plotted. These are MGRS coordinates, and when I did this, and you're basically trying to find out these points, whether you're plotting like this or whether you're just kind of following directions of where to go, you really need the ability to erase it, and that's kind of what you're running into. But what I carry is one of these, and one of these. So this is kind of my standard pen pencil loadout. I've also kind of started trying to carry an eraser too, but I just don't like it because, one, I'm just worried about this kind of eraser and losing it. I used to carry, I've gone through a couple different iterations. So this, just right off the back, this is the Staedtler, is that how you pronounce it? Staedtler? It's German. Mars. I'll just call it Mars, right? So what I like about this pencil, which I'll get into in a second, sorry, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent, but I did start carrying something like this. So we use the little pencils that we make, the little golf pencils, and you can buy these pen tips to protect the pencil lead. So I did that so I could carry it in my kit and not worry about breaking the pencil lead off. And obviously the golf pencils have a pretty decent eraser too. So I've gone from just chunking one of these in the pack to have the eraser on this, because this does not have an eraser. That's the only downside to this. It's an amazing pencil, but amazing because you can press it like this and the lead comes out just like this. Obviously you don't need that much lead, but it's a pretty standard kind of lead, but it's chunkier than normal pencil lead, so it's not going to break as easily, and you get a really nice tip on it until you wear it down. So when you do, you just take this handy dandy cap off the end here, flip it around, and you have a pencil sharpener, lead sharpener. Anyway, I think it's pretty nifty. Somebody sent us one on gear tasting a while back, and I realized I already had one when they sent one, and I had discounted it for some reason because I didn't know about the sharpener in the end. So the pencil was great, but I wore it down and I didn't even know about the fact that it had a sharpener. So appreciate whoever it was that told me that. Apologize, I don't remember your name. Then I went to a Write in the Rain pencil like this, and they claim that they have pretty much unbreakable lead, which is true. It's very hard to break this lead. However, it's a flat piece of lead, and as you write with it, again, you have a sharp side and not sharp side, so it's kind of difficult to deal with. And the eraser kept falling off, and I had to put 100-mile-an-hour tape on the end to keep the eraser in, because when the eraser falls off, all your lead dumps out. So that's kind of why I went back to this thing and just talked about carrying an eraser, or something like this is a backup pencil, but then the eraser as well, because I do like having an eraser when I'm doing anything land nav wise. But then I also carry like a Write in the Rain pen because I carry one of these notebooks too. I had taken this out earlier, but this is waterproof paper, and both of these pencils write really well on waterproof paper, but again, it's not a map and it's a little different. Then I have a Sharpie for other stuff too, but that's kind of the gist of it. Hopefully you took something from it. I will link to all this stuff in the episode intel or description on the YouTube video, so you guys can kind of check out different links to the stuff that I'm talking about here, so you're not worried about zooming in and figuring out what kind of pencil that is. Just a quick note, I don't normally have this kind of gypsy camp hanging off my rig, and I wanted to explain because I'm sure the questions will come up, but this GPS is usually on my wrist. It's just there to hold it. This headlamp is typically around my neck, so this is just girth hitch around here just to hold it. And then typically I have gloves on if I'm doing any kind of work outside and things like that too. So just to let you know. And then this knife is, knife. Hey guys, just a quick note. These are the new AG watch caps from our friends at Prometheus Design Works. If you remember last season, we did a little collab on a black version of this. These are merino wool. And this season they have charcoal gray, hunter green, and these are all heathered too. They call this Team, or just Zizu, I think, which is from Team Zizu, Life Aquatic, Jacques Cousteau kind of shit. And then there's also the Terra Stripe one they came out with too. I also want to say thank you for watching. If you're interested in supporting ITS, we have some brand new shirts like I have here in black and white. So you can take your pick. They're unisex. We have most sizes. I think we have all the way up to triple XL. So those sizes are on the website. I think we go down to small, and you can pick one up. Very much appreciate your support, purchasing a shirt, and subscribing if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.